Indeed, now starting tomorrow, KTN launches its talk show, KTN Bottom Line. We will be live in the county of Mombasa tomorrow, and I want to hand you over to John Allan Namu to tell us exactly what to expect tomorrow. But before we even get into what to expect, John, the significance of where you are joining us from, tell us about that, where you are right now.
Well, Yvonne, we're at the Sea and Sun Resort here in Kikambala, but of course in November 2002, Kenyans knew it by a different name. On November the 28th, Kenyans woke up to the news of a bomb blast here in Kikambala at the Paradise Hotel. This is what this hotel was known as in 2002. Where I'm standing right now is the ground zero of where the car that held the bomb detonated. And right behind me, boarded up, is a commemorative plaque that commemorates, or rather that bears the names of the 16 people that died, 14 Kenyans and 2 Israeli citizens. That, of course, is the history, the background to terrorism, both at the coast but in the countrywide. The attack was seen as a more global attempt of the Al-Qaeda-linked networks here working in this country to make a point to their enemies, the Israelis then. Of course, terrorism in Kenya has changed both in form and in frequency. Now we're dealing with a far more local complement of terror, and that's what we're here to discuss. From the terror attacks that have taken place here, Yvonne, to the number of victims, the very many victims that now are dotted across the country, from Garissa to Nairobi in Eastleigh, right down here to Tononoka, and different places that have had terror attacks. So we'll be speaking to victims as well as people from the business community and trying to give Kenyans a holistic view of the conversation that needs to be happening now. Because let's admit it, Yvonne, there have been a lot of divisions that have been created in this war on terror, and that's what we seek to address. Of course, you'll be down here with us tomorrow, Yvonne.
Indeed. That is absolutely right, and KTN Bottom Line is the hashtag that we're using on Twitter. You can also get in touch with us with our SMS lines. That is all tomorrow. But of course, you have the latest for us from Mombasa.
Yes, I do indeed, Yvonne. Today in Tononoka, a grenade was found by the security agencies here, the police, finding that grenade and detonating it. But there's a very interesting twist to this story. County Commissioner Nelson Marwa linking it to a far more different group than people would expect, given a number of grenade attacks. Ferdinand Omondi has this story from here today.
Heavily armed police sealed off Malandini Estate in Tononoka and kept at bay hundreds of curious eyes as news spread that unidentified persons had dropped an explosive device here and fled. Eyewitnesses say the incident occurred at about midday, which was about the same time the Jesus Miracle Ministries nearby conducts its lunchtime service.
Once kaona kijana hivi alikuwa ana bagi. Alivyotuona akasimama. Sisi tukaendelea na shughuli zetu, kamshinikiza. Nilivorejea kwa nyumba hajamaliza nusu saa ndo nimeitwa na jirani yangu, nikaambiwa nije kuangalia kuna kitu pale imeangushwa.
Police confirmed the man's account, saying they rushed to the scene after a tip-off from their nyumba kumi structures which had a similar storyline.
Mimi nimepigiwa simu nika activate kwamba kuna vijana watatu walikuwa wanapita waka abandon hiyo bag karibu na nyumba za watu na karibu na kanisa.
Sources identified the explosive as a Russian post-World War II grenade, possibly the RGD-5, which is an offensive fragmentation grenade loaded with 100 grams of TNT and with a kill radius of 25 meters. Apparently, the safety pin was already off. This cat raised a few hairs when it strayed near the object just after it had been rigged for detonation. Luckily, it was successfully scared away, and once everybody had safely taken cover, it was time. Police say they are closing in on the persons thought to have left the grenade there.
Tumepata their identity and tumeapa kwamba by saa 4 today saa 5 we should be having them in custody.
The suspects are said to be the same ones linked to the grenade incident off Biashara Street only 2 days earlier. On Thursday night, a policeman was injured when a suspect he had arrested detonated a grenade The cop is currently recovering at a Mombasa hospital, while the suspect, who had an accomplice, is said to have escaped with the handcuffs. There has been an increase in grenade-related incidents, and the police are now suspecting they could be decoys.
This could be some saboteurs, some individuals who are out to divert attentions and carry on with their other funny activities. And we are pretty aware, and we are prepared to deal with any eventuality. Nobody's gonna divert our attention.
Mombasa has lately come under scrutiny over security concerns. Ferdinand Mondi, KTN, Mombasa.
As you've just heard, the police following up leads that could challenge the narrative about who is behind these current grenade attacks in Mombasa, but in different parts of the country. And back to why we are here again, KTN Bottomline, hashtag KTN Bottomline, the hashtag that you can follow the conversation on, as well as contribute. Every voice will count. Every opinion will be shared in trying to find a way forward in this conversation so that Kenya can finally have some sort of unity of purpose, both from the civil society as well as the public, but also more importantly from the government. Hard questions, not just from us, but from the people who will be following this conversation in studio with us down at the Jubilee Hall, or what is more commonly called Aga Khan Hall in Mombasa. Those questions will be going straight to them, up to the people in government, Yvonne. And of course, we encourage people both on Sunday and Monday to come and join us tomorrow from 6:30 p.m. up until 10 p.m. and on Monday at 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Back to you, Yvonne.
Indeed, thank you very much for that. John Allan Namu coming to us from Kikambala there, the significance of where he is reporting from. And this is a conversation we intend to take very seriously here. All voices, like John Allan Namu said, will be heard starting tomorrow. We'll be speaking to victims of terror, children of suspected terrorists, religious leaders, government officials, ordinary mwananchi. The aim of our discussion starting tomorrow will be to hear from all sides, to have one conversation that by the end of it, we will have one, the way forward in how everybody can participate in the war on terror. Two, to understand its effects on just about everybody in the country. And of course, to get the right answers that we need, and to also move us towards a healing point. Because as you know, divisions have been very big in the country. So on Twitter, the hashtag is KTN Bottomline 22155. You can start to send in your thoughts right now, and we will incorporate them in our discussion starting tomorrow. So do make a point to join us then.